Welcome back to Art Pastor Live. Hey, if this is your first time joining me on my live stream, welcome. My name is Steve Thomason, and I just realized I'm on the wrong screen. Hey, welcome. Here we go. This is better. I'll get to that screen in a second. Um, yeah, this is your first time with me. Welcome. My name is Steve Thomason. I am the art pastor. I'm a visual artist. I'm a pastor in the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America, and I'm a professor of spiritual formation at Luther Seminary, also dean of the chapel. And every Friday afternoon, I like to end my work week by getting together with you, inviting you into my studio. I'm a working artist. This is my art studio, and doing some contemplative art of some form or another. Because my whole mission at Art Pastor is to invite you to join me in exploring spirituality and scripture through visual art and creativity. And so I just love art, and I really think that for me, art is a way to open up our mind, our heart, really a way to slow down our mind and open up our spirit to encounter God through wonder. And because art is beautiful and it's just a great way to explore the world around us and to get to know things in a deeper way, in a whole body way. So today, I really need some contemplative practice. I got to tell you about something that just happened to me. This afternoon, I taught this morning, was wonderful, came home, and this afternoon I set aside to work on a writing project. I've been working on an article for the Spiritist Journal. I've been working on it for quite a while, and today was the day. I spent 2 hours putting the final touches on it, really made some significant changes to it. I was really excited. I was just about done. I go to export it, and poof, it just gone. Like, it didn't save, and everything that I had done this afternoon gone. So I have to take a deep breath. It's moments like these that remind me of one of my favorite um, teachings from Leonardo da Vinci. You may have heard me tell this story before, but back in 2002, I walked into a bookstore, used bookstore in I can't remember the name of the town. It's a small town near Lake Minnetonka, and my wife and I were on a vacation there, taking a little getaway, and we walked into this bookstore, and this book called to me. Just walked in the bookstore, walked directly to the shelf, pulled this book off the shelf, and it was called How to Think Like Leonardo da Vinci by Michael Gelb. It's a fantastic book, and he studied Da Vinci and Da Vinci's philosophy and methods, and came up with a bunch of principles. One of the principles of Da Vinci is this Italian word sfumato, and sfumato means up in smoke. And Da Vinci, one of his philosophies, it was actually a very Zen kind of idea, is that he said, whatever you're working on in the moment, work on it as if it's the most important thing you'll ever do, and give it all of your integrity, all of your focus, your energy. And at the same time, realize that eventually it's just going to go up in smoke. And so today, I got to experience that. All of the work that I did today, just gone. And that's okay, because I can rewrite it and it'll be fine. But I need to meditate. I need to be with you right now and do some art. And so here's what I thought I was going to do today. Um, I want to do some contemplative sketching. And one of the things that I really like to draw is trees. Trees are just so beautiful. I think we can learn so much from trees. And so as I was thinking about the session today, I was like, okay, I want to draw trees. So I was thinking I'm going to have to probably, I can't take you outside. I haven't set up my live stream to be able to do that well. And so I'm stuck here in my studio tethered to my equipment. And so I'm going to have to do this through photograph. So I thought, well, I'll just go through all my photographs because I've taken lots of pictures of trees and nature over the years, and that'll be fine. And so I was thinking about all this morning before I was going to class. I was on campus and I had a little bit of time. It's a beautiful morning here in Minnesota. Sun was shining, and I thought I'm just going to go for a little walk down to the corner market. And I walk out of my building and boom, there it is, the tree. So let me share this screen with you. You got a glimpse of it if you tuned in right at the beginning. And so this tree in the distance there um, is a tree that I just love. I've been in love with this tree since I got on campus. Let me just take you through it. So I took a whole bunch of pictures of the tree. These are from this morning, and I'm pretty sure these are oak trees, of a certain kind of oak, and they're so gnarly. There's a whole bunch of them on our campus. This is the front lawn of our campus, and I thought, well, thank you, Lord. Here's the tree that I want to draw today. And so let me just show you all the pictures that I took. I just love these old gnarly branches, and like, okay, so let me just take a bunch of pictures and get up close. I love the texture of the bark, and I'm thinking, I don't know what I want to draw, so let's just contemplate these photographs. This tree is so gnarly, so old. This right here, I'm sure, is a tumor, and it shows that this tree's been in trauma, which I think is really interesting. This tree has seen a lot of things come and go at Luther Seminary, that's for sure. And this one branch just grows, horizontal. It's a huge branch. It's so cool. Um, and I thought I might do this picture today, but then I got less interested in that. So these are all the photos I took. Let me show you the one I'm going to choose that I'm going to use as my reference. I'm going to go all the way back to the beginning, and it's this one. So I cropped this into a square configuration. And so what I'm going to do now is I set up a new screen for us to experience together. Let me pull my over-the-shoulder cam around. So now I've got three things for you. You can see me up in the upper left corner. You can always go to artpastor.com, and you'll be able to see my photo reference here on the side. You can see my hand working on the drawing. I've got my music playing, and I'm going to just sketch this tree. I'm going to experience this tree as a contemplative practice, and I'm going to talk through it. So I hope you will find this to be a relaxing, contemplative space. And if you want to draw this tree along with me, I invite you to take out your art supplies. You can do it in watercolor. You can use pencil, colored pencil. You can do it on your tablet like I am. Whatever works best for you. And if you are on with me live, feel free to drop a chat, a comment, a question in the chat. I've got the chat up here, so I should be able to see you. And yeah, let's begin. Take a deep breath. And I'll just talk through it. I'm in Procreate here. I'm opening up a square file, and this file is one of the things I love about Procreate is you can set up your canvas in any dimensions you want. So this is a 4,000 pixel by 4,000 pixel canvas, which is it's HD. It's a 4K canvas. And one of the first thing I like to do when I'm painting or drawing is change the background color to kind of a neutral background color. I actually think I want to do kind of a greenish. See how there's a lot of like orange colors in the foreground, and so to contrast that, I want some green to be the underground, the background layer of this, because it's it's nice to have a contrasting. It's also a neutral color. It's kind of like halfway neutral. And so let's see. I want to want to simulate as if I were outside doing plein air painting in gouache. And so I think I'm going to choose a thin gouache brush. See what size my brush is here. And the first thing that I want to do is just lay in. What you want to do when you look at a composition first is just kind of squint and see the big blocky shapes. And so I'm actually going to come in with a darker green and get my brush pretty big. Even bigger than that. Big, bold. See some big shapes here. You can see I'm squinting to just get the blocky colors and the midtones here. Let me go darker. You can see like right here is where I'm not trying to be, at this point you're not doing details at all. Just kind of getting big blocks. Darks. I just love these branches. So cool. And I'm going to go in later and just really have fun exploring those branches. But we got this shadow that runs out here. Got the shadow, and then we got another tree here and a little tree in the background. Okay. It's kind of cool. Again, these are darkest darks. Or not darkest darks, but just like getting the shadows in. I like these kind of vertical shadows that go across. So I'm just seeing shapes. This real shadow in the middle there. And of course, you don't want to be, you don't have to follow exactly what you see. Because it's your picture. You do whatever you want. Right, so we got this basic shape. Make sure everything's working okay. Yep, great. All right, I think I'm gonna go ahead and start pulling in some of these rusty colors and get big again. Yeah, and then that color kind of gets balanced down here. Swipe of that color across there like that. Yeah, it's kind of cool. And a little swash of it. Yeah, so now we just got, some colors making shape. Down here we have a little bit of this green off here in there like that. And then I just I do want to hit maybe just a little bit of like a sky blue. It's kind of popping through in places. Just want to see what that feels like in there. And get how this shapes through here. All right, so that's my basic composition. So now what I want to do is I want to come in here to this dark, and I want to get really dark with it, and I want to try to just draw with this thin detail brush. Now I just want to get lost in the cool patterns of this branch. Actually want to switch over here and go to more of my and this is the part where I just gets really kind of meditative for me, because I'm just letting my eye wander around the cool patterns of these branches. Just kind of getting lost in the shapes. And it really makes me wonder, what is the story of this tumor on this tree? When I walk past this tree, I walk past it all the time, because this is the way to get down to the street, to Como Avenue. And often just touch this tumor. And who knows, maybe that's why it has a tumor, because so many people touch the tree. I don't know. Hope I'm not hurting it, but I kind of like to just talk to trees. Because I know they have stories to tell. So I'm just letting my eye follow the dark shapes, not worrying too much about, really not worrying too much about anything. But let's follow that up this branch here. kind of cool. This branch comes to this junction. It gets all lost up in here. See, if you just let yourself slow down and observe, and just let your eye follow the shapes. And don't worry too much about doing it right. Just kind of flow with it. Because that's kind of how tree branches grow, right? They just flow. And one of the things I love about these oak trees is that they're just so gnarly, right? They don't follow. They're not. Some trees are like really smooth and elegant. Not these trees. They're just like they just grow, and they're kind of got these gnarly angles that go around. Sometimes I feel like these trees. All right, we'll come back to that. We come down this side. Again, I'm squinting and I'm just looking at the big shapes of the shadows. No details or anything. Thinking of the darkest darks. At this point, big shapes of shade, shadow. And because I'm going to be working in an opaque, I'm simulating here like a gouache painting. And what I love about gouache is that it can be both transparent and opaque. So I can always come back and go over anything. So let's follow this branch down. Comes to this really interesting, almost like a right angle right here. It goes up. Whoa, sorry, that was a feature of Procreate. If I make a line and hold it, it'll make it into a straight line, which I definitely don't want when I'm doing this organic kind of drawing. Because there really aren't straight lines in nature. If you zoom in close enough on things, you'll see that even things that look like they're smooth are really textured. My son Ethan likes to take pictures. If you go back in my archives, you'll see I did a live stream with Ethan where we got to show off his love of macro photography. So he goes out in the backyard and takes these amazing pictures of the microverse, and it's really cool. All right, that's kind of cool. Yeah, we're starting to get some fun shapes. So now let's look at this middle branch in here. Middle branch. Little Bobby right there. And I just realized, you know, like I'm way off here. Because like all this section should really be under here, but I don't care. I'm making up my own version of this tree. Because I like this branch. I want it to be a little bit bigger. So I'm doing it. I'm doing it my own way. Why not? Alright, so squinting again. And I see that, you know, I got my basic shapes there. And so the next thing I want to do is I'm going to go back to my thin natural brush. I want to come up to a little lighter color and just start laying in like the light side of the tree. Erase some of that because I realized I started too high. So now what I'm doing is just laying in like my middle light tones. And this is actually going to help start shaping the tree. You'll start seeing the forms. Because we got this, one of the things I loved about this is morning light in November. So it's really coming in from the side, not from above. So you get really cool light patterns in the fall that you don't get in the summer. And here you just get this one little patch there. You get these little patches right in here. And then this tumor catches the light right here. And just the way this tree sticks out. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, in order to make the trunk stand out a little bit, I'm just going to throw in some more color. Let me just bring this color from over here. Let me just throw it like this. And just to contrast, I'm going to throw this color a little bit more to the darker red. Got that shape right there. Okay. Let me just, and then we really have these dark areas in here. Yeah, see, that's what's really gonna make this trunk stand out. We can just get that dark space in there. It's kind of cool. So I'm going to come back up here and start laying in some more just dark reds. My brush is smaller than it was before, but it's still not like super detail-y. Lay in some lot going on right in here. Whoa. When you get close to the edge, you want to maybe pinch in your screen a little bit. Again, I'm mostly just looking at shapes. You can see how these dark shapes just kind of wrap around these areas of the tree in here. And it comes all the way down. Just remind myself of these shadows. Trying to decide if I care about these things in the background. I kind of like how there's a little green down in the bottom here. I definitely need to get this area here. Contrast going in there. Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's coming along. So now if we brighten up these oranges and just throw some kind of, this area gets a little bit more red in here. Make that even more red. And like in this area, the red is a little bit more subdued. I'm just going to throw that in here. Even more so in here. Maybe even a little darker. Right in there. That actually gets pretty dark right there. Right, so we've got a little splash of yellowish. So we pull this a little bit to the yellow. And bam, 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 right there. So I want to, let's throw some orange. Let's get my gouache thin out and start doing some So now I'm just having fun with the texture. Just want to see. So now what I want to do is come in here and go even a little bit darker, and maybe just sharpen up some of these edges. This is where I just love kind of getting lost in the intricacies of the bark. I'm obviously not following it exactly what I'm seeing, because that would be really hard to do, for one thing, and not really necessary, right? So whenever you're painting, you'll notice what I'm doing is going from, really, really blocky, rough, to just coming back and doing more and more refined. I'm observing. So what's hard to tell in this image is what parts of those fine branches are from this oak tree and what are from the trees behind it. And I'm just not going to care about that. just going to go with what makes an interesting design on this tree. Because the truth is that I'm not creating that tree. I'm creating this tree. And whatever this tree ends up being is what it is. And it has its own life and its own story, its own purpose. Throw some different, just some different colors. Texture of this bark. See a little bit of this green in there too. I'll throw those in there. I tell you, this has really been relaxing for me. Just think about creation and how these trees just kind of do their thing even in the middle of all of our stuff. So now here I'm using the brightness of the foliage in the background to identify the shape of that branch. I think it's pretty cool. And then as I'm paying closer attention, I'm realizing that there's a branch right here that I missed that I think is interesting. And I don't want to leave out. I'll throw some more darks into the shadows of these leaves. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And I do want to articulate the shadows of these leaves a little bit. Just give some texture to the dark leaves. It's kind of fun. Now, something that I want to try to do right here is if I bring the brightness of this background up just a little bit. And this will actually mark out the trunk a little bit. Just the contrast of and then this needs to go down just a little bit. Right across here. And we need to bring this up. Now we can get brighter on the trunk itself. Start getting some, as we come towards the end of our time together, we just put some nice highlights in here. So now I'm squinting for the highlights. See if there's just a little pattern of. Because when you squint, you can see that the highlight actually runs down through here too. Let's go just a bit more brighter yellow. And just throw a bit more detail. Just throw some trees, branches across there. And I think just for kicks, I think I'm going to go back to my thin wash. Just kind of throw a little bit of that green in here, because I like it. Across here. Just pull some of these red highlights down into here. Use my thin detail brush just to throw them. All right. Well, that's pretty fun. Let's see what we got here. So this is, you see when you go in real close to it, it's not super detail-y, right? But just what fun was that? Just being able to observe this tree, the lights and the shadows, and yeah, man, that was so much fun. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me today. If you're watching this video after the fact and you're still here, just a reminder, I'm an art pastor, and I just love exploring spirituality and scripture through visual art and creativity, opening ourselves up to wonder, experiencing the presence of God in everything, and allowing ourselves to just use that visual, those observation skills, and the connection through art to just seek to understand things better, so that we can grow deeper in the love of God through Jesus Christ and the power of the Holy Spirit for the sake of the world. So thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you found it to be rejuvenating, deepening, opening up